What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Bit Unraveled comedy podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Hansinger, and let's get into it. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to another week of A Bit Unraveled. Happy to have you guys back. I'm very excited for this guest this week. Carl and I go way back, actually a little while now. But I'm very excited to reconnect and have him on the show. He is a fantastic improviser, an actor, writer, and producer. Guys, welcome to the show. Carl Tart, everybody.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah.
Jet Black. I ain't seen.
I was thinking, I was like, I'm pretty sure, like, I've held on to that. I was like, yeah, I used to get Jet Black. And I was like, as I was bringing you back onto the show, I was like, Carl started that name.
Yeah. That boy had the blackest hair that I had ever seen in my life.
Yeah. All natural. Because some people are like, that's dyed, right? And I'm like, no, it's not yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can hang on to it for now. But if I have to, I could probably just do it in, who knows? You know? Yeah,
nobody's gonna know.
Nobody would notice at that point.
We already know that you naturally got it. Maybe he's born with it.
At least I know what the box will say. I'll go Jet Black, and
exactly.
That'll be the dye.
It'll be me on the cover.
Yeah,
I like you.
Yeah, I love it. Pugs Party. What
Pugs Pantry. This is my friend DeMorris's food company.
Oh, nice.
So I'm giving him a little promo right now. Check out pugspantry.com.
Nice. But, is it dog related then?
It is not. That's his nickname. His nickname is Pug.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very confusing. They're gonna get a lot of orders from like dog people and like, oh, we got to go to Pug's Pantry.
Yeah.
Especially in LA, you got that like specialized dog food.
He actually makes dog food too. He had a dog for a little while and he was making a lot of dog food and stuff. Like homemade dog food, like real healthy stuff. And but yeah, he doesn't have the pup anymore. So it's back to the human food, but he's an amazing cook. He hooks it up. Yeah.
What type of food?
Comfort food, soul food, health food. Like he was doing meal prep for a little while. I was on his meal prep program for a little while. And I also was getting his unhealthy meals, which taste delicious. And like, he's just a dope cook, man. Best mac and cheese I've had. Like,
Is he out here in LA?
Yeah, he's here. He's here in LA.
Okay. All right. I love, like, it's hard to find good Southern food or like good comfort food out here.
Yeah. He's making it, and he does these things called pull-ups. Like during the quarantine, he's had, he sets a menu, and you could just drive up. He'll bring the food out to the car.
Nice.
Tickets for it. It's really dope.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. I'm a big fan of Southern food. I grew up in Virginia, and so man, whenever I can find it, but it's hard to find out here. Yeah. But that's cool. So we were talking a little bit before. You're from Mississippi, correct?
Yeah.
But you've been in LA for forever now, right?
Yeah. I'm from Mississippi. I moved to LA when I was 8 years old, and yesterday I turned 32. So what was that, 24 years?
Hey, yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So I had to do a quarantine birthday. I thought I was gonna be able to miss one.
I was gonna say, I didn't think you must have thought you were in the clear for that. Like
I thought I was. I swear, because when this thing first popped off, we was all like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a couple months. We'll be all right. Get 3 weeks, we'll be back to work and everything. Yeah, and it still ain't came back yet. So
it's nuts.
I thought I was gonna be able to skip it, but I had to do it. But I had a great day. I went to Honey Kettle in Culver City.
Nice.
And which is one of my favorite restaurants growing up, like in that area. And got a lot of love on social media and stuff. Like everybody said what's up, everybody checked in, got a lot of text messages, a lot of family calls and stuff. So it was dope. I saw
that. It was almost like you broke social media for a minute.
Yeah.
Your story went on and on and on.
I know.
Days.
Yeah, people were really kind, and it was dope to have that, especially during this tough time. And dope to see people still thinking about you.
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm just glad that it was yesterday and not today, so it didn't get overshadowed by all the chaos.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, I was like, I'm just glad Carl didn't get overshadowed by that mess. Everybody get caught up in that. But man, we thought 2021 was going to be brand new, but you know, we got 1 week of a shit show and we'll move on.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we got Dr. Dre had an aneurysm the other day. That was great. Yesterday.
Yeah.
On my birthday. Damn, Dr. Dre.
Come on, Dre.
Yeah, but he's safe. He's good. He's in good. You know, he's back stable and everything. So that's good for Dr. Dre. They going nuts in DC today.
Yeah.
So
I know we're all sitting here like, come on, we can't repeat last year. But,
exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, cool. I want to talk about a few things. I was thinking back. I was trying to remember where we first met because there was two things. It was either in the improv community doing shows, probably either at the clubhouse or around town, or the CBS Diversity Showcase. And I don't remember which one came first, but
I think we met during CBS, but then
that's what I think.
Kept seeing each other like at the clubhouse and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, which seems ages ago now.
I mean, shit, it's been 9 years, bro.
Yeah. I thought there are times I think about it. I was trying to put it like on a resume or something recently. And I was like, oh, it was like 2016. And I was like, no, it wasn't. It was like 2012 or
it was 2012. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Right now, 7 years ago, we were preparing to put the show up.
Yeah.
So this was like we were in, because remember everybody had birthdays around the same time.
Yeah.
And I turned 24 doing that. So that was, 2013. We started September 2012 and went into January 2013.
Yeah.
So
which was nuts. That was a crazy experience in itself. That was like for people who haven't experienced it, it's like a comedy boot camp. Like I almost thought of it as it's almost like the NFL Combine for comedy.
Yeah.
Because you get everybody from around town, from all the studios and agencies and things like that coming in and checking on this show, which for people who don't know what it is, it's a sketch show put on by CBS. And they bring up a bunch of writers and comedians from around town and basically put up a sketch show. And it's like just a great way to showcase essentially. Which is exactly what it is, but
it was dope. I met so many dope friends during that. And it was it was during a transitional period just in my comedy life,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was kind of like my first validation, in a way, kind of my first oh, I am doing well at this, Yeah. Because I come from sports and quick, after high school. And so I was still kind of in a mode of, I played 1 year of college basketball, and then after that ended, I started doing comedy. And, I was like, okay, I don't know if this is I'm having fun doing this, but I miss basketball. I miss football. I miss that stuff. And then that was kind of like my first, oh, if I work hard at this, I can maybe do something.
Yeah.
And that was really dope validation to have.
Oh man, that's awesome. So you were pretty early on then getting into CBS.
Yeah, I was 3 years in at that
Dang.
time.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, what position in basketball?
My natural position was small forward, but
okay.
The reason why I only played 1 year in college was because I'm only 6'3". So I got to college and I had to play the 1 and the 2. And I wasn't a good enough floor general to play the 1, and I wasn't good enough period to play the 2. That back then that was the main position on the court,
Yeah.
The ball usually goes through the 2 guard, and I just wasn't prepared for it.
Oh, I get that. I played wide receiver in high school, and then I was 5'7", $135, and then I remember it was 1 year. I think it was between sophomore and junior year, everybody else shot up, beefed up, and I was behind. There was no way.
Yeah,
I got put as punter. And I was
oh, you punted?
Yeah, I punted.
Did you play varsity?
I think it was varsity. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
But I punted for a little while, and but eventually I was I can't keep doing it because I was just losing out to other people for I didn't grow into it. So
yeah,
same
football.
Thing,
I was a tight end.
Yeah,
I was a tight end and DN in football.
Yeah. Okay.
It was fine. Football was done after high school. It's one of those sports that's if you're not the main standout, you're not going, because football's a hard sport, and just gets harder. Every sport's hard, but football really gets harder when you get older.
Yeah.
So, I was done after high school.
Basketball is a sport I always fell in love with. I always like played street ball, but I never really played in rec or high school. Again, 5'7". That's not a spot. That's not a good place for me. I was good. I was good at the running jumper from half court.
Which is something you don't need.
You don't need it. You don't need. Nobody asked for it. I'll never forget though being out on the court playing street ball, and I'll hit like like logo shots on like running, and I'll hit them some like because I'd practice it, and then they'd be like, no, 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 no. Okay, never do it again.
Yeah.
Never do it again. That was lucky, but we won't hate you for taking it.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was fun. I love playing.
What's the street ball culture in Virginia?
So what is it?
Yeah, they really hooping out there. I mean, I guess they like where is it? That's where KD is from. Well, he's from DC.
They're from DC, which is different. I mean, I was from the suburbs of there, but I mean, people played, but I don't know if it was like as competitive. I never ran across KD.
Yeah, KD wasn't out there.
Nah, he wasn't there. He wasn't by
I
the
got
pool.
Jet Black.
Yeah, nice. You know what though? I would occasionally, I think I would get picked because they were like, JJ Redick, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it, whatever. I was like, I look like the white guy who shoots threes. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah. And then they were like, he doesn't shoot like JJ Redick. But that was fun. I love playing. I love playing sports, which is fun because I think I think a lot of that translates into comedy and stuff also.
Hell yeah.
Especially with improv and stuff, it feels like a team game, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's fun. But yeah, so back to the CBS stuff. I feel like that was like a big breakout spot for you then. I mean, especially early on, that was such a big opportunity.
Yeah, man. Like to be picked. I was one of the last auditions. They like to pick a lot of people who have like a lot of clout and a lot of credit already, who
are about to make it.
Yeah,
yeah.
We had some people in there. Nicole Byer was in it. Like she was on the cusp. John Milheiser was on the cusp.
Yep.
Hiller was already on Broadway. Like, man. We had some people in there who were like already really doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of coming in like young in the game, only had done Second City, hadn't done UCB stuff, and fresh out of classes, and like it was just a great opportunity to get, and I was able to make that. I mean, that year, like I auditioned a ton, but I didn't book anything.
Yeah,
I booked like one under 5, which was like my first one, and that was really dope. And then they kind of forget about you in the audition room after that.
Yeah.
Like, so like you like they'll remember you like, oh my God, you were so funny. Oh, that was you. You were doing you did the character, you did the thing, you did this. Like, and I did that, and then like we did the show in January. I would say by May, June, they'd be like, oh, you were in the show. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. Like it's like, and now they don't really remember you. So you don't have that clout anymore. You don't have that clout coming in to the audition room being like, yeah, like I did it. Like that was me. Like you don't have that anymore. It runs out quick.
Yeah. So. That's interesting. But now you had an agent then going into it?
No,
you were just getting your own auditions?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, here's the thing. I signed with a manager like a month before we did the show.
The same manager you have currently?
Now. Yeah, the same manager I have now.
Okay. See, I thought you had them. I thought you got them from the show.
No. I got them from a referral from a homegirl who I will always be grateful for. And she was working there as an assistant, but also taking improv classes, and she was doing improv workshops and stuff like that. So she knew me from improv, and she always praised me to the management team. And I'm with Odenkirk Provinciero, and she was always like being like, you gotta check this guy out. And so they called to ask me to do this program called Young Storytellers, where you go to elementary schools and all the kids write stories which get turned into scripts by other writers. Yeah. And then they hire actors to come in and perform the scripts in front of the kid.
I've done one of these in the past. Yeah.
It's really fun.
God, I almost forgot about it. But that's super fun.
And so I got called to do that by one of the managers at the place. And she was like, oh, by the way, do you have representation? And I was like, no, I don't. She's like, oh, I want to bring you in for a meeting. And so I go in for a meeting, and she's a new manager at the time. And she's like, yeah, we like you, and we've heard so many good things about you. But Naomi Odenkirk was kind of like, I don't know. He's like, he's still pretty new and green and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. She was like asking me crazy questions, like I wear earrings, and she was like, so what's the deal with the earrings? I was like, they can come out. Like, it's not a big deal. And at that time, while we were rehearsing, I just had like a mustache, so like no beard. I just had like a stash, and she was like, "What's the mustache?" And I'm like, "I'm just trying something, lady. like I'm not. It ain't nothing."
Now
like,
everybody wants a mustache now.
I know
mustaches are everywhere now.
It was me, Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like I met with them, and she wasn't sold at first, but like Brooke, who ended up signing me, was like a new manager at the time, and like took me on, and they like believed in me. And so, and then I told them, I was like, oh, wait. Oh, by the way, I'm doing the CBS Diversity Showcase right now. And that's when Naomi was kind of like, oh, okay. All right. That's like a stamp of approval, kind of.
Yeah.
So, and they came and watched the show, and I had a fun show. Like I got like 4 sketches in there that were, pretty fun, and like were able to showcase me quite a bit. So I was like, yeah, like this is dope. Like, and they were like, oh, he's good. Okay. And they signed me. And that's how I started getting those auditions.
That's awesome.
Like Fern at the time, like she was crazy to work with during, but afterwards she like believes in everybody.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
He was setting up meetings. She was straight up cold calling casting directors, being like, y'all need to see this guy. Y'all need to see him. Like, so yeah, like
that's awesome. That's such a great way to go. Like trying to work in with like the younger management and stuff like that coming up is such a good way in. I had the opportunity to get with a manager the same way, like at a bigger place. And she was fantastic. She was young and she was hungry, and, she got me a lot of stuff. She got me into CBS Showcase as a writer. And but then unfortunately for me, she took off, she moved to New York, and then, and then it's kind of looking for a new thing from there. But to anybody like looking to get into stuff, that's like targeting somebody young and hungry, like that's a great way to go, especially like, and then being attached to a bigger place like that. And now, Naomi's looking at you and everything else.
Yeah, no, I'm super grateful for it, man. I'm still there today. Brooke just left this year, which was crazy, but there's been a team around. I actually kind of got lucky because right before Brooke said that she was leaving, my agent at the agent that I was with, he left the agency and became a manager at the management company. And then I already had another manager there too, Tiffany, who has been on my team for a couple of years, and she's awesome. And that, like, so I was still in good hands. Like I still had people that knew who I was. I literally have my agent, my former agent is now my manager, and a person who's been my manager for the past 5 years as well. So like, man, it's cool.
Yeah, that worked out awesome. Yeah. Man, and then so now, like, to move into the stuff you're doing now, like I just looking from then to now, it's you've taken off. Like you're doing so much now. It's funny because I hadn't seen you in a while, and then like I reached out to you recently because I was like, dude, I was just watching The Good Place, and it's funny how you start seeing people pop up too, and you're like, oh man, like especially people you haven't seen in a minute.
Here's what's crazy about that. That's when I realized I wasn't following you online. But here's and this goes back to Pug's Pantry.
Yeah.
Demoris.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So like this, I don't know why we were saying like, him. And I saw a picture of your girlfriend.
Yeah.
With his son. And I was like, that's Ryan Hansinger's girlfriend.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. That's crazy.
And so that's when I added you on Instagram. Because I was like, I ain't talked to Ryan in a minute, man. Let me see what Ryan's been up to.
Oh my God. That's insane. What a weird circle of,
Because the last time I seen you, I think we were all like at Barney's when I was working at Barney's.
Yes. Yeah.
Doing karaoke or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I haven't done karaoke in a minute. I miss it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
That's gotta be because I worked at Barney's like 2014, 2015. That was the last time I actually seen you.
Yeah.
But Demoris posted a picture of your girlfriend and his son. And I was like, oh, I remember her. And then I was
That
like,
is
let me see what
so
Ryan's up to.
funny.
Yeah. So
Oh my
that's who
God.
that's who like.
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's so funny. I'm gonna have to tell her that. I don't think she realizes that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, but yeah, I got to eat there. We've been talking about it too. It's now I even more. All right,
Yeah.
Pug's Pantry, guys. Everybody get out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that's awesome. But yeah, but yeah, so then I realized like just how much stuff you've been doing lately. Because then I saw you on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I watched the crime episode,
Yeah.
which was awesome. And then I mean, so it's hard to wrap up because so you have the acting side of things. You've also started writing on a bunch of stuff, and then you just also produced Connecting, which came out on NBC this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's still, it says producer, but it's still, I was just in a writer's room. It's just another
Okay.
level of writer. Yeah.
It's on IMDb and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
You can take that to the bank.
Yeah, the Keenan show. I'm working on Keenan Thompson's show right now, and I'm technically a producer on that too.
Yeah.
At that producer level, and I'm like, this shit is tight because I got an office. I mean, we're working right now. Not this week, but hopefully next week they'll let us come back. But we are like, I have an office that has like my name on it, and it says producer, and like the PAs are weird around me, and I'm like, no, man, I'm cool. Like I'm not on no other shit. Like
Yeah.
I'm not. And I'm like, oh, Mr. Tart. I was like, please do not call me that.
Yeah.
Like, my name's Carl. Like, we chilling here. Like, I'm just a writer. Like, I'm just one of the writers. But it's cool to have that title.
For sure.
WGA titles, yeah.
Do you feel like, all right, so a couple things. Do you feel like you ever have to juggle between being an actor, a writer, and these other like things? Or do you kind of just take what comes to you and just roll with that?
So I just take whatever comes, opportunity wise. Like I got into writing after we did CBS. I went to Amsterdam for a year and did a job over there, came back and was mostly just doing improv and sketch. Like wasn't really booking that much work. Started working at Barney's, going on auditions and stuff, not really booking. And then they said they were going to bring back MadTV. And but they didn't have enough time to like, see like a huge casting call. So they selected a group of people that they wanted to check out from each theater, each, recommendations and stuff. Right. And I got to audition for it, and I went in, auditioned for it a couple of times, and I didn't get it, but they were like, we like your bits. And Colton Dunn reached out to me and was like, hey, would you be interested in writing for the show? Like, they asked about you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm into that. Like, sure. Like, put that pride aside, put that ego. Like, I'm still working on the show.
Yeah, totally.
And so that was my first writing job, was MadTV, the reboot that not many people saw.
Yeah.
I did that. And then right after that, I got asked to write on another show, the show called Brockmire, which was like a short job on like 6 weeks. And it was a small room. But the dude, Joel Church Cooper, like called me in for a meeting, and he was like, yeah, we got this character on the show that not many people in the room really know what to do with. We just want to get a different perspective. Yeah. And so I was like, hell yeah. I went in. He really liked the stuff that I was pitching, believed in me, gave me an episode. And then after that, stuff just kind of started rolling a little bit, because right after Brockmire, I got hired on a show called Ghosted with Craig Robinson and Adam Scott as a writer. And so I just kind of got like 3 writing jobs back to back to back. And I did a couple little under fives here and there in between that time. Like I did like the Lethal Weapon pilot and stuff like that in between that time. But writing jobs was just kind of rolling, and I had never seen that type of steady income before. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is better than just doing an under 5 in March and not doing another one until August. Right. Yeah. Having to work at the bar. Like, and throwing out drunk dudes. Like, right. This is better than that. Like, this is like, I'm gonna just keep up with this. And I still get the performance bug out every night. Yeah. Like, I'm on stage 4 or 5 nights out of the week during regular times. So I wasn't really tripping off of that. And then after I left Ghosted. I did a couple small jobs that show on Netflix. Sneakerheads. I was on that for a couple weeks. I had this other show called Filthy Preppy Teens that I was on for a couple weeks, and writing jobs just kind of started lining up. And then right after that, I got Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
And started writing on that for a season, and that was a long time. Writing takes you out of the game. Like when you resign to just being in a writer's room, you can't go on auditions and stuff, but you're in the writer's room for 6, 7, 8, 9 months, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was at Brooklyn for that whole year. And then I was still, also the good thing about being an actor too, is that I'm still able to sneak in to episodes. It's like I was able to do an episode of Brooklyn.
Yep.
And then once I left Brooklyn in March of 2019, I said, you know what? I'm just going to act for a year. Like I got enough money saved up now. I'm going to just do the audition thing and just kind of take a little break. And it kind of worked out that way where stuff started rolling in. I started booking more stuff. And then I booked a pilot, and we're still waiting on word to see what happens with that. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But that was fun. And then the quarantine hit.
Right.
But right before that, I had just jumped back into a writer's room for the Keenan show.
Yeah.
And then the quarantine hit.
Yeah. That's awesome though, man. That's I mean, it's funny. That sounds cheesy, but I feel like that's like that ultimate yes and mentality of like you didn't really set out to do just writing or whatever. Like it kind of just took that path and ran with it.
Yeah. For me, it's comedy. Like I just want to do comedy.
That's I get that. I like 100%. Like that's, to me, I'm like, I just want to do that. Like whatever that means, I'll write, I'll act. And the great thing about, I think, doing improv like you do is like, you don't have to prep new stuff for it compared to like if you're doing stand up or just like solely sketch on stage or something like that, where you're having to create new content to go back and perform. You can do the writing stuff and then, just pop on stage and do your stuff there and get the acting side of things out, the performance aspect of it.
Absolutely.
Now here's something too, because you have been getting a lot of acting stuff also, and some of it you said like came through the writing, and this is always interesting to me because I've done improv, I've done stand up, and I've done the acting stuff. Do you do a lot of acting classes to do acting, or do you rely mostly on your improv stuff to feed your acting? Improv
stuff. Yeah, I haven't taken no acting classes. I don't want to lose it. I'm scared.
I get that 100%. And like, it's like, to me, I've always wanted to do like sketch improv into like sitcom TV. That's like the idea for me. And I get like, so I came up through UCB and did all their classes and everything. Took a couple Second City classes. But then, then it gets to like, well, I need to bulk up this resume. What else can I add? And you start taking these acting classes, and sometimes it's like it's conflicting. Like it definitely, I think it helps in learning how to prepare and like memorize scripts and break down scripts and stuff like that. But also, like, I think a lot of times it gets in your head and you start feeling like you have to act. Where one thing I noticed with your acting in particular, having watched some of your episodes, is you're very much just yourself. You do a really good job of being you, and then people are just booking you, and then it's not, you're not having to like stretch or put on a new thing. It's like you just, which I feel like the improv, that's why I felt like that was probably kind of your path.
It still helps you a ton. Like I think people just kind of disrespect comedy in the acting world, but when you think about some of the world's best actors, look at Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is a comedian. Jim Carrey's a comedian. Like these guys are so good at what they do. Like no matter what roles they're in, Jamie Foxx is a timeless actor.
100%.
Like one of the most talented people of our generation, and he is a comedy guy. Like that's his roots. Like that's how he got started. Like comedy allows you to unlock a different level of emotions that you're just not putting on. You know what I mean? Because most of what we do from comedy is how we already overanalyze stuff in comedy. And we ask like, I can't, like every situation, there's something funny about it. You know what I mean? Like, and we look at that in a different way, and we can also see the humanity in every situation and see the seriousness of the moment. So our reactions are usually a lot more genuine because they are the actual human reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we laugh at bad stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is going on in DC right now as we speak. Like, a lot of this shit is very funny.
Oh yeah.
And people be like, how dare you? How dare you laugh? How dare you? Like, no, man, lighten up. I
Yeah.
understand the gravity of a situation. Like, it's also very scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes me very angry. It makes me very scared. I'm also laughing at a lot of the stuff that's coming out of it.
Yeah. Just because
Like,
you make jokes and laugh doesn't mean you don't like feel the other things.
exactly.
You just yeah. I mean, you just choose to highlight the comedy of it, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like what we see as comedians is like. Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity. There's a lot of funny in shitty situations.
Absolutely. Donald Trump, like, it truly one of the funniest people I've ever seen speak.
Right.
Like, and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah.
Like, just some of the shit that he says, some of the shit, and it's like, how dare you laugh at it? I just can't. Like, every time I'll send like a video to somebody who's like, super like anti-Trump, and I just can't watch him say anything. I'm like, yeah, but just watch him say this really hilarious thing.
Yeah.
Like,
comedy's gonna miss him. Like, nobody's gonna miss him as president, but like comedians will miss him around the world because
exactly. Coronavirus too. Like, I've seen so many hilarious memes about this very terrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know people who've died. I know people who've gotten like it, and yet there are some very funny memes out there.
Yeah,
like it's some very like comedy is tragedy plus time, stuff like that. You hear those type of things. So I rely on my friends who are very good actors, people who I look at and respect as actors. My buddy Peter has taken so many classes and so many like workshops, and he's also one of the better comedians I know. Like, he's really funny, and he helps me every time I get an audition. Like, I know I can go to him because he's such a perfectionist, and he will drill it in me to where I'm like, I get mad because I'm like lazy about it. I'm like, I'm good, man. Like, take this shit. Like, let's take it. He's like, nah, man, I think we should run it one more time. I'm like, no, I don't want to run it no more. Like, they gonna get this take. Yeah. They gonna get this take. This is what they about to get. Okay. I don't want to run it no more. I don't want to, like, no more. And he'll be like, nah, man, let's just run it one more time. Let's just drill this one part so you can get it, so you can nail it. He's great. Like, he's a dope dude. And I go to him. I don't need to go to some teacher who doesn't respect comedy, who doesn't have any credits, who doesn't like, and who's gonna come in there and tell me like, I need it more real. And it's like, I'm giving you the realest. Like, if I'm saying these words, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, so I have not taken no classes, and I don't plan on taking any.
Yeah, I mean, I hear it, and because I've been in some classes, and it's interesting because I've done scenes where maybe we have to go up and we'll do it twice, right, in front of the class or whatever, and I'll do it one way and it'll get laughs, and they'll come up and be like, all right, you got to bring it down, you got to do this, and I'll do it their way, and I'm like, well, I didn't get any laughs. Is this a comedy scene or is this a comedy scene? Like, what do we? And so it's weird. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've done comedy scenes where they've taken the comedy out of it, where I'm like, nobody's laughing anymore.
100%. I went to my friend's show. My friend was in an acting class, and her acting class had a comedy showcase, a sketch comedy showcase at the acting theater. And Ryan, it was atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, now I know her from UCB, and she's good, and she was good in the show. But I was just like, what is this? Like, there are no, you do realize that y'all can't call this a sketch comedy showcase. Yeah. Y'all need to call this an acting showcase where potentially there could be a couple chuckles.
Right. Yeah.
Like this is not a sketch comedy showcase. Yeah. Like, this is bad. And then afterwards, everybody was kind of talking and stuff, and they were like, yeah, man, so you think about taking classes? Or I'm like, nah, I'm a comedy guy. Yeah, I just comedy is just not for me, man. I just can't, like, I need the real, and I was like, do you think we just get up there and make faces and fart all day? Like,
right, yeah.
Thinking, like, but also then before they, like, not to, like, this sounds braggadocious, but they were dissing comedy so much. And then another person walks up and goes, hey, wait a second, I know you. You've done this and that and this and that and this. And they're like, hey, so how do you sign up for that UCB play? It's like, oh, now you want to know.
Right.
Like, well, other than that, it wasn't real and you wasn't getting the real. It's like, you weren't good up there. And you also weren't that good of an actor. Like,
do you ever go out for serious stuff? Do you ever get sent out for that?
Yeah, I've gotten pretty close on some serious stuff by doing exactly what I was just saying, playing the scene as real as possible.
Totally.
Like, and if there's a line that I say that sounds potentially funny, that's not bad. As long as if I'm making the joke about it, like if I'm a doctor saying I'm sorry your mother is this her last day, I'm not gonna be like, I'm sorry, it's your mother's last day. Like, you know, if I'm making of course I'm not gonna do that.
Totally.
Like, but like if there's a line in the script that I think I probably talked in a circle and a tangent stuff about, but like comedy is life. Every day we see something that's funny.
Yeah. Every
single day. And if you're not, you don't have any feelings.
Yeah.
Like, because there's like, I was driving down the street the other day going to the Guitar Center, and there was this like dude who had some mental problems in the middle of the street, and his pants were at his knees, and he was so basically butt ass naked, and everybody's seeing this guy in the middle of the street butt ass naked, and nobody's really saying anything. We're just like, damn, this is sad. Like, he's in the middle of the street, he's butt ass naked. And then I look over, and this dude had his window down. He goes, man, that dude got a big ass dick. And I'm like, everybody was thinking it. I was also thinking the same thing. Like, damn, this dude is Jeez Louise, like, he's wasting that thing. Like, you know, like, and
oh my God.
It was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's a sad situation, but it's a hilarious situation to be in too at the same time. Like, we have to stop looking at comedy as being disrespectful. And like, it's not always disrespectful. It's a human emotion.
Yep.
To laugh at something.
Yep.
Even if it's something, you don't have to laugh at everything. There are things out there that I go, no, I don't laugh at that.
Right.
It doesn't elicit that emotion from me. People harming old people.
Yeah.
I don't really like pranks, period.
Yeah.
Right? It's not my thing. I don't think fucking with somebody at their expense is funny.
Yep.
I have seen funny pranks. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't.
Sure, of course. Well, I mean, we all have. I mean, but totally. And prank culture's like popped up all of a sudden, which
because it's viral cheap. Culture now. Like,
it's just a cheap laugh. Like you said, it's somebody else's expense. It's not. There's nothing to that. That's easy.
Yeah, like I was watching a video of this dude standing on Venice Beach, and as people walk by, he like jumped up and tried to scare him, but he was on the phone, and so he like walk away. What the fuck you mean? And he like kind of walk away, and people be like, whoa. And then these three dudes came up, and he did that same thing and kind of startled them. They were like, we're gonna beat your ass. And I was like, yeah, beat that dude's ass, because that's not funny. It's not fun. It's not like, you're doing that just to fuck with people. Don't fuck with people.
Yeah.
Like, but also at the same time, like, I think comedy is one of those things that's just misused, misjudged, misconstrued all the time.
Yeah, 100%. Things are so sensitive these days too, and everybody wants to call you wrong for something you said. So it sucks that it is so sensitive sometimes, because a lot of times it's like you're saying something somebody else is thinking, and they just didn't want to say it.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, and just to finish up on the whole improv thing and what you're feeling stuff too, I always think it's fascinating, because I was reading up on like I've read the Meisner books and other things like that, and it's when you talk about doing serious, it is the same scene, and improv is just being in the moment, ready for whatever's happening. And literally Meisner's just like basically kicks off with improv. They're like, know your first line, and everything else from there is like you're just in it. And I'm like, so this is just improv.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you guys are just doing these are just improv games. Like so there's not a lot of difference. So yeah, I like that. It's refreshing to hear that, because I get bogged down in like, everybody is like, yeah, you gotta take these acting classes, and I'm like, okay, cool, but it gets in my head more than anything else.
Yeah, I get you. I'm not arguing against the merits of acting class.
Yes, you are. Yes, you. No, just kidding. Carl Tart says end acting class.
End acting classes. Acting classes are stupid. Let's normalize not going to acting class. No, I like some people do need acting classes.
100%.
Some people improv can't help you.
Yeah.
But
and I can't say it didn't help in like, again, for me, I think what it did for me was teach me good preparation practices. More than anything, of just like really how to break down a script. And I can't tell you how long it took me, because it's easy when you're doing your work. Like I got so used to writing my own sketches and like filming that stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I wrote this. I know what this is. Or you get some comedy scenes where I'm like, right away, I understand this character. I get this. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But then you get some where you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. And nobody for the longest time would tell me how to break down a script.
Yeah.
And so I will say there were some acting classes I took that definitely like helped just even break down a script that I didn't understand. And that was helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. But, no, that's important. That's important. I think for people like us, the key is finding an acting class that caters to our strengths and doesn't try to change us. I think that's the main thing. I don't want to be changed. I don't want no teacher to tell me that what I do is wrong.
Right.
And that I should completely change it. That's why I go to my friend Peter, who's taken a ton of acting classes.
Right.
And went to college for it and has taken a ton of classes and really invested into his craft. And I just get to steal from him because he also knows what my strengths are.
Yeah.
But he also has all that preparation that you talked about. He can break down a script. He can, break down a character. He can let you know everything that's going on in the scene. And then when we collaborate, like me as a writer, like, and him as a performer and a great actor, like he tells me, no, this is what you should do in this. And this is what's going on here. And this is what you should be doing. And this is what, that. And he's great. He's great at it. He's dope. Like, and I don't need to go to an acting class to get that from him. Yeah. I bring him a 6-pack and he helps me out. And
God, that's way cheaper. That is
way cheaper than somebody telling you comedy's not real. Yeah. Don't do that. Cause that's not real. Right. Me trying to force another reaction to something. That's the not real part.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
With regards to improv and stuff, I know you mentioned you came through two different schools, UCB and Second City, right?
Yeah, and IO too.
And IO.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this, but do you ever do you prefer a certain school of thought when it comes to I know UCB stresses kind of performing as yourself. And I think Second City kind of leans toward more character work.
Here's what I've always said about the two. The really character one is Groundlings. That's the one that's like really character based. Second City is more acting. Because Second City is where I kind of get this philosophy of what's the most natural reaction? How would you really interact like this? And what's the relationship between these two people? And completely break down that relationship. And UCB kind of taught me the science of just comedy. Like if you do this many times, this is a laugh.
Yeah.
And this is what makes it funny. Like, so I kind of, go Second City was the art of it. They're both artistic, but like that was the art of it.
Sure.
That was the acting side of it. And UCB was the science of it.
Right.
So merging those two things together. So like when I got to UCB, I was like one of the only people doing object work on stage. Because Second City told me like, you're in a scene. Paint the scene. There's a whole scene here. You wouldn't just stand there and just talk to this person. If this person comes in, if your wife comes in late one night and you're waiting for her and you're in the kitchen, like make a kitchen there.
Yeah.
Don't make that what the scene is about.
Right.
The scene is about the relationship between the two people. But you are still in a kitchen. You are still up late drinking a tiny cup of coffee.
Right.
Or making some spaghetti on the stove,
You're not just creepily standing, waiting.
Yeah. Where
it's about time you got.
Yeah. Like, so like, that's kind of what those two schools of thought is, but like, they're both super valuable.
Yeah.
Like,
do you ever feel like cause I feel like, well, you do both. I feel like I see you play yourself really well on stage. when I've seen you like perform with white women, which you guys are still together, right?
Yeah, we're still together.
Yeah, which man, it's like a household name now. Everybody, everywhere I go, people are like white women, and they're talking about you guys.
Yeah, they talking about us.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which is an awesome group. If you guys are in LA, find them, watch them when shows happen again.
Yeah,
because you guys are so much fun to watch, and
thanks, man.
A lot of you guys are finding success out of that too, which is awesome. But going back to like, I feel like I see you play yourself a lot, which is great. But you also have character work. You've been booked for your character work. I know you got booked for doing OJ, and and
yeah. Well, Comedy Bang Bang, I do that show a lot, and I do a lot of character stuff on there. But when I'm improvising, like I do live in a sweet spot of just a heightened version of myself.
Yeah,
just like this is me, but this is me a little bit crazier.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
But which is great, because I think that translates so well to what we're talking about, in that, like, that just playing a heightened version of yourself has translated to you on screen so easily, compared to somebody who that might play a lot of characters really well, might like pigeonhole themselves into only certain character type roles into television and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's an easy transition to be like, oh, that's great. This guy's funny being himself. Boom. And it's translated pretty well for you.
Yeah, it's good. It's going great. I can't complain.
Yeah.
I love doing the character stuff though. It's really fun. What I like about doing the character stuff, especially when I do Bang Bang and stuff like that, is like having these characters who are just so cuckoo and so insane. I get to abandon all the improv rules and just word vomit as if I was a child, like with my friends, just playing around.
Yeah.
And that gets you in trouble sometimes, because I've been doing that show for like 5 years now, and some of the canon that the fans of the show really know, I'll be like, what? I don't remember saying that. Like somebody would just like leave a comment on my Instagram or something. I'd be like, what the fuck you say to me? Like, I don't know you. Like, and then, oh no, your character said this, and I'm like, still don't say this to me. I don't remember saying that, but still don't say it.
Yeah. Because Comedy Bang Bang's all improvised, or it's some sketch,
it's all
right?
improvised. It's all improvised. There are people who come in with written points.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like me and Drew Tarver do this character of this country group called Memphis Kansas Breeze. Okay. And our songs are written when we go in, but everything we say in between is mostly made up.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Comedy Bang Bang. Which is a shame. I should be cursed for it, because it's been around for a while. And it's like a staple. But I haven't. Like, I've seen clips of it. But I guess it's been on air for a while too now, right?
It's not on air anymore. The podcast's been around for like 12 years.
The podcast, yeah. But then they had like a video. I mean, they
had a TV show.
Yeah.
But it's off now. I think it may be on like HBO Max or something.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I tried to I think I looked it up on Amazon, and it was like,
it's on there too.
Something like that. But no, it's super cool. But now, and then I know now I'm jumping all over the place, but I was speaking of like the improv shows, and I know we mentioned they weren't around right now. You did do a Zoom one recently, which I thought with AskCat, right?
Yeah, that was back in March. Yeah. Right when we first started, March or April. Yeah.
Has Zoom improv still continued, or is that
not for me?
Yeah, well, you've been busy, all right.
But like, I mean, like, it hasn't continued in the capacity of like doing AskCat shows and stuff for UCB. I know people are doing them.
Yeah,
but I found it to be quite unpleasant.
It seems, it seems like one of those things they tried. I haven't done any Zoom shows. I haven't seen it to where it's gone well, to where it's been like super enticing to be like, got to get on this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they've really found a way to do those, rather than to just put it up on NBC and do it as connecting.
Yeah.
But you guys
itself. Oh, go ahead.
No, but improv. Like I don't know how to do an improv show. Like that seems tough to do over Zoom.
To me, it's really just supposed to be for a live audience. Like every time I see it, even when I see it, like I mean, Ben Schwartz and Thomas Middleditch have their improv show,
which is
and
fantastic.
yeah, it was good.
I thought that was kind of pretty groundbreaking
Yeah,
for improv.
it's so hard to accomplish that though.
Yeah,
Like I don't like watching filmed improv,
yeah.
and I like watching film sketch, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't like watching filmed improv. And so yeah, I kind of I've done, of course I've done shows on Zoom, but they've been like, you know, individual character bits and stuff like that. They haven't been just improv. Like, all right, y'all, we're gonna get together and improvise. Yeah, nah,
Yeah.
that's tough. That was back in the early days. I did a couple of them. It was just like on Zoom, being like, huh, what you somebody frozen, like it's like
Yeah.
like,
Just no connection. Just the one guy with bad connection the entire time.
exactly. Just you can't hear somebody. What'd you say? Like, yeah.
Yeah, because it's so instantaneous to bounce back and forth for improv. But now with connecting, was connecting done all over Zoom? Or how was
Connecting was done all over, like, well, we wrote the show completely on Zoom. Like we
Yeah.
started it in the pandemic and wrote it completely just like how me and you talking right now.
Yeah.
And then when it started filming, everybody got kits at their house
Yeah.
to set up. Like it was filmed all on iPhone.
Okay.
I did a little bit in my episode.
Yeah.
So I got to get the kit. Had to set up lighting, had to rearrange stuff in my house, had to like hang up posters and pictures that weren't mine that they didn't let me keep. I was like, come on, man, let me get this.
Let me keep them at least. They look nice. I got used to them.
I know. I'm used to this shit now. It looks good in my house. Let me keep
Yeah.
it. Like, nah, I'm coming to get that shit. Like, they even took the wardrobe. And I was like, man, let me get this polo shirt.
Yeah.
Like, but
so it was just shot in everybody's individual house then.
Everybody's individual house. Yeah.
Wow. Some of those people had nice houses.
Exactly.
I was like, this is a nice space.
Yeah. Keith and Jill, real married couple. And yeah, they house is nice.
Yeah.
It was dope. It was that room that Rufus was in, played by Eli Henry. Like that's really a room in his house.
That's so wild though, to try to because we were watching it and just like one, it got put together so quick, which was it was amazing and impressive to how quick you guys were able to turn it around. But I was thinking of like, how do you direct, like, because you guys had a director through it, right? Like,
yeah.
So it's like, how do you live direct while you're trying to shoot? And like,
you got a Zoom setup, you got a camera, you got one iPhone that's like your monitor, so you can see what you're doing, and then you got two cameras set up angle wise, two other iPhones, and the director's just on Zoom. Like, so he's like, oh yeah, let's get that one more time, and let's do just like I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah,
like it's like that.
Man, what a crazy way to work.
It was crazy. It was such a, like, when we finally started seeing the episodes at the premiere of it, it was just like, man, we really did something wild with this one.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of shows, Love in the Time of Corona and all that type of stuff, but I was really proud of the work that we did.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That was super cool. And you guys got around having to film with masks.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you did some. There were a couple of shots where people did masks.
But yeah, like they were outside or something like that. Because those were like really like the elements were there because they're filming themselves. So if somebody walked by, I don't know if those people were like hired extras.
Yeah.
I gotta ask. Because there will be people that like walk by while they were filming, but there's nobody else there. So it just looks like you on your phone like this.
Right.
Like,
yeah. It just looks like you're doing FaceTime with a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a guerrilla shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was super impressive because it's hard. I think everybody, when the pandemic hit, we're like, how do we keep creating stuff? How do we get stuff out? I thought everything was going to go to animation.
Oh yeah.
This is why I have this. I was like, we better get into voiceover because this is like, because I was like, animation is going to be the only thing that's happening. And really that hasn't been the case. But yeah, it's interesting to figure out how to shoot. And obviously now you're back on set with Keenan's show and trying to figure out how to shoot with all of that. So that's, it's weird times.
Weird times, man. But I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for sure. Grateful.
Well, I'm happy to see all your success, man. It's fun to watch.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now with things moving forward, have you guys gotten news on on production, or because I know a lot of things are kind of getting shut down again. Are you guys?
We shut down this week. And then they just emailed me saying I'm supposed to be getting tested on Saturday to start back work on Monday.
Yeah.
So we gonna see.
Yeah.
But SAG sent out an email this week. I'm sure you saw it, where it was like, we wanted to shut this down.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I don't know, Ryan.
Are you numb from the tests? Because you get tested like constantly, right?
Yeah, I get tested constantly. It's fine.
Do you feel any feeling in your nose still?
Yeah, everything. Because see, here's the deal. The whole time over the quarantine, I've either been doing just the nose swab, or the spit test. But the other week, a couple of days ago, I had to go to the urgent care to get a test because I had to see some people yesterday, and I just went to get a test to make sure I was good.
Yeah,
and they did the all the way up one.
Oh,
and that was the first time I got that one.
The javelin through the
yeah. And I was like, oh, but then my first test came back inconclusive, and I was like, no, we got to do this again because you need to tell me right now because I ain't got no symptoms. Like I've never felt better. I usually have bad allergies, and right now my nose is clear. Like both nostrils, like cool. Like I ain't congested, nothing. So you're not finna give me no inconclusive test and tell me I got this shit right now. So like we gonna have to do that again. So I ended up having to get that thing like 3 days in a row. Like
dang,
the all the way up. But it was fine. Like it just makes your eyes water a little bit. And everybody's like super gentle about it. And the new cotton swab is like really thin. So it just kind of goes right.
It's
in
nice. The new one.
Nice. It's a nice feeling. It feels like you're drowning.
They have the ones where you have to do like yourself, I guess. And like my girlfriend had to do the one. I'm like, man, I would totally be doing the up the side angle. Like, oh, it's up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. I wouldn't be able to put it up my nose canal by myself. I need somebody else to do that.
She went to one place where she had to, like, they watched her from behind a glass and were like, nope, farther. She keep shoving. And then they're like, now you look uncomfortable. You got it.
Now, luckily, the test that we get, we do a bio IQ test, which is the lab test, and we do the rapid from CVS. And both of those are just like right in the nose, just like a little bit of a swab.
Yeah.
And it's all good.
New normal, guys. It's weird.
The new normal. Hopefully this vaccine getting rolled out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, man.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready. Yeah. Ready to move on.
Shoot me up.
Uh-huh. Well, cool, man. Well, I'm excited that we got to catch up, and
hell yeah, bro.
It's been too long, but I've been watching you, and it's exciting to see all your success and so much on the way too, which is neat to see.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
So
thanks for letting me come on.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Well, happy birthday again. I'm gonna go order some Pug's Pantry.
Hell yeah.
And we'll catch up again soon.
Absolutely, man.
All right. Also, go ahead and follow. It's what's your handle so we can they can follow the.
I'm only on Instagram, and that's Damn It Carl. DAMMITCARL.
Damn it, Carl.
Damn it, Carl.
But yeah, follow him. Check out. I mean, his credits and things where you can see him is a mile long. Definitely check out his work. It's fantastic and great to see you, buddy.
Thank you. Man.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to A Bit Unraveled. I'm Ryan Hansinger. We'll see you next week.